I just really enjoy the time I have spent with her.
I get so blessed by being in their lives.
It's really opened my heart to recognize there's real felt needs and deep needs, spiritual needs in the midst of our community.
My name is Kelly Loso, and I'm 22 years old and a current student at the University of Texas. The first couple of times I went to church under the bridge, it was pretty intimidating. I always had the question of do these people really want to talk to me, or do they care that I'm here? Do they think I'm being phony? The third time I went, I decided to go to kids class that day and help out there, and that's where I continued on. Through the time that I've been there, I have gotten to know some of the kids really well. There's 2 sisters and a brother from the same family, the Barons. Marcela Baron is about to turn 9, Rosa is about to turn 11, and Antonio is 14.
My name is Rosa Baron, and I'm 11 years old. Miss Kelly is a great friend to me and my family. I remember I met her at church. She started doing kids' church. She teaches us different verses and different stories about the Bible.
Now we see each other weekly outside of church under the bridge, and then every week at church, and we'll play games or go swimming or go to the library. Sometimes it's a special week and we'll get ice cream. But just spending time with them, the kids and I have definitely developed pretty deep, meaningful relationships. I've seen changes come about in them and just the way that they're considerate of each other and of me, and more giving of themselves, and not so much as what's Miss Kelly gonna bring us, because she's the volunteer or the mentor, and now it's just an excitement to be around each other.
She has taught me to be a good friend, a good person to my sister and different people, and to be patient with other people and be kind and be thankful of what they're giving to me. She says that I'm a kind girl and I'm a good person to her, and that I'm a good person to my friends and my brothers and my sisters.
One of the most evident ways that I've seen the Lord work in the lives of Marcela, Rosa, and Antonio is in the ways that they treat each other. Since the time that I've known them outside of church under the bridge, they've become so considerate of each other and so loving towards each other.
I want to be able to help people and animals and help out in the community and tell people about Jesus, because some people haven't been able to hear about Jesus because there's been things doing instead of trying to learn about Jesus and Him and how He died on the cross for us to be able to live on the world He created.
Being with the kids every week has really shown me the importance of exemplifying God, and it's really been convicting to see, especially Rosa, how she'll mimic some of the things I do, and this being a real wake-up call to me of my life is to exemplify Christ, and if I'm doing that well and Rosa's mimicking me, then she'll be mimicking something that is good and come to know more about Christ through the way that I speak and the way that I treat them.
Yes, I'm closer with God because I've been able to praise Him more and pray to Him more and been able to know Him more.
My name is Brian Ziska, and I'm 40 years old. Been living in Austin 12 years. I think even from the very first time I was here on a Tuesday night, there was something really both amazing and I guess kind of humbling to see people who just, in the eyes of the world and in the eyes of myself, who seem to have so little, be so happy to worship. I guess that's what made me want to come back. I wanted to experience more of that. I think I'd come several times, and then one night after the worship portion, Brother Dwayne had been pretty intentional about saying, okay, well, now it's time to, we want to break up into smaller groups and, find somebody next to you and ask what you can pray for them about and just talk to them about what's going on in your life. And that's when I met Randy. The first time is he was sitting about 2 chairs to my right and kind of just looked around, and he looked around, and we were looking at each other, and we said, hey, you want to pray together? And he said, sure. We weren't really sure where it was going, but that's how we met.
My name is Randall Lewis. I live in East Austin, kind of homeless. Brian, I met right here at Mission Possible. We shared testimonies, and the relationship spawned from there. When I fell to a valley of my abuse with cocaine and alcohol, I got so sick and tired of that lifestyle that I started reaching out to God. And I knew that the only way out was through God. So I started going under the bridge to hear the Word. And the Word says to, edify your brothers and push them up, and that's what Brian did for me.
We continued to get together after the services and pray together and talk, and eventually I just invite him to lunch after the Sunday service. So we would go and have lunch and hang out for a couple hours and just continue to talk and get to know each other.
You build a trust in this person to the point where you can talk to him about anything, and he's not going to look down on you for any bad choice you ever made.
One Tuesday night we were sitting here praying after one of the services, and part of Randy's prayer was how he and I were going to be brothers in heaven. And that was really pretty moving. And I realized at that point that our relationship had gotten to being friends, and not only were we were just connecting every week, but something else was happening between us.
When I need someone to talk to, I know I could call Brian anytime. I feel loved, I feel, there's a bond there, that can only be done through, the love of God.
And it's not really about what I get out of it. It's not really about, trying to fix Randy. It's really about, over the course of time, a true friendship has developed there. And it was really nice to just sit with him and talk with him. This guy's my friend, and we connect. I think God put us together for a reason. I love the guy dearly, and it has nothing to do with, he may be homeless the rest of his life. He might eventually get off the streets. I'd love to help him any way I can, but regardless of the outcome, I still love the guy, and he's my friend.
I'm sure it causes a person to think, why would this guy take time to even, look at me? But it's what they gotta see is the love of God in Brian, and he lets his light shine up on a hill now, to a point where not only can I see it, but other people can too, and that gives me a ray of hope